Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Lights, Camera, Rant. And for this particular episode, we're going to be wrapping up 2022 in a nutshell, box office wins, and we're going to be looking at a really interesting news headline I saw that was now, for some strange reason, you can now sue a movie studio if they false advertise a movie to you. And we're going to be looking at Wednesday, the latest Netflix smash hit. So, guys, look, yeah, this will be the last episode of Lights Come Around for 2022. When we return next week, it will be the first episode of 2023, which I just can't, I just can't believe it. I just can't believe how far we've come since the very start. Since the biggest thing since when we came into 22 was like, back in January, thinking, it'd be so cool to do video podcasting. That's the next big thing. I remember when I'm pretty sure it was January, Anchor posted something that they're working on it, and I was like, this is really cool. I can't wait to do it. And turn this clock's 12 months later. Nearly every single episode we launch is now a video episode. And now we are streaming not only on Facebook, but Twitch and YouTube all the same time. And we have not touched wood or touched anyone who's listening to this touch wood. We have not missed a single week. I think 1 week instead of the usual time it had to come out 10 hours later because I think I was away and it was like, got home, unpacked for my trip, switched to the mic, smashed out an episode straight away. Sorry, that's going to be interesting for next year. But look, let's celebrate the last episode of this year with what you guys know with. Ah, that is the best. Exactly that's how we like to start an episode. So hopefully you're all having a cold drink with me. And if it's not alcoholic, that's fine. Grab anything and everything. Let's just sit down. Hope you're relaxing, especially this being the holiday times. And let's get into this episode. So has been a little bit of news. Oh, my apologies. Merry Christmas. Hope you all had a great Christmas. Hope you all you're enjoying your holidays, and hope Santa brought you everything. Especially all the podcast Santa. Hopefully brought you more mics, more boom mics, more gear, and everything for you. And I hope you have a wonderful time with your families. As well as last week, I would like to say a big thank you from Tom from Two Sides of the Story for popping in last week to be my last guest for the year as well. Actually, second last guest. My apologies, second last guest because my last guest was Maddie, where we did Christmas with the Misses, and we snuck that in the new, right before 25th of December. So if you haven't already, you guys know what to do. Please go check them out. It was lovely having both of them, and I can't wait to have next time they'll both appear because next year, you thought this year we had so many guests. Just you wait. What we're going to install. So, here we don't slow down. And then I can't wait to announce all the new guests for 2023 and what's coming. But before we get into that, as I said, let's look at the last week back. So, we did get one announcement. So, let us know. We did get one announcement, which I was happy and annoyed at the same time, if you will. So let's draw your memories back. We had a smash hit TV show last year that blew TikTok, blew YouTube right out of the water. That was just out of the blue and just wow, this is Owen Wilson. Wow, wow, Ours World, which was Invincible. Now, I didn't initially watch this when it first came out. I was a little bit late bloomer and waited until about whatever it about probably 3 or 4 months after. I had Mark in my ear going, "You need to watch it. You need to watch it. You need to watch it." And I was like, "All right, I'll watch it. I'll watch it." outstanding. Don't know why it took so long. But as you guys hopefully do remember, is that we got the killer scene in the first episode where we got basically Superman absolutely brutally murdering the entire their version of the Justice League. Not only, but just snapping necks, uh twisting, just it was horrific. And boom, blew everything out of the water straight away. So we've all been clamoring for season two. Yes, for everyone who reads the comics, you know what's coming. But for anyone just watching face value like myself, we've been so waiting for season two, like just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Yeah, that's exactly. I hope you got that feel. And we finally got an announcement that season two is coming in 2023. Yep, that is all. That is the only part of that announcement we got. So that's the part I'm annoyed about. I was like, yay, yay, 2023. But can we can we please have the month? When is the particular month of when we're going to begin this? I'm like, come on! I know there's been some delays with the cartoonist staffing, COVID. But it's like, come on, please, just give us a month. So for Invincible fans, we've got a guarantee it's coming next year. However, we do not know the month, and that's it. Don't know the month. So I'm right there with you. However, moving on. Now I'm going to keep this at a very bare minimum because I know I talk about this a lot. Yes, it's my passion. It's what I love. So I only have one bit of DC news for you, which was kind of not surprising with everything going on. But the last little trickle that we've gotten about the whole James Gunn versus DC versus the fans versus The Rock versus the world is that The Rock has put out an official statement on his Instagram stating the fact that he's had a conversation with James Gunn and there are currently no plans in his Justice League, his DC universe where there will be uh, Black Adam. I was about to say Black Panther. Black Adam will not be appearing in the first slate of the James Gunn era, which to anyone else, we knew that was going to happen. No one, can't tell anyone was surprised, like, oh, I did not see that coming, especially with the box office numbers. So at least he's put the official statement out. So unfortunately, for any Black Adam fans, don't expect to see a sequel anytime soon, let alone one at all due to The Rock's age. Interesting enough. I did see a rumor that apparently he was offered a role in the first Black Adam as a cameo, but he denied, apparently, and said, no, I don't want to be the villain. I want to be the hero first and be the anti hero because, as you would all know how that all go down. And he said, nope, no, I am not doing that. And so the cameo never happened there either. And so it's just right now, as I keep saying last few weeks, because it's just been the hot topic. For once, DC's in the higher in the news than Marvel. What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? And it's just these little tidbits here and there, just adding to it. And at this moment, if you're a DC fan, as I always say, God help us. God help us. There is a different news report each time. It's hard to believe. So right now, I'm just kind of sitting back and going, well, whatever we get is what we get, and can't be unhappy about it. However, just go, guys, keep in mind, we won't see any massive changes, or we will not see any of the James Gunn era until after Aquaman 2, which I'm excited for, but it's so fucking far away. I wish they didn't keep delaying and everything. Oh, for anyone who's a Batman fan, there is no release date for the Batman 2. There is nothing. Nothing that's apparently has been affected, but there is no plans. So, all right, let's keep it moving. Now, as you have known, last week I watched Avatar 2. Now, this I thought was so interesting and a testament of how long this movies have been going into filming. So Avatar 2 started filming in 2017. Now, her name, Eddie or Ida Folio, I've probably butchered that. And I am quite sorry to that actor. She was the new military person in Avatar 2 that you were seeing take over the, I suppose, a human invasion of Pandora. Essentially, yes. She, when interviewed, said the fact that it was filmed so long ago, she totally forgot that she filmed it, and she thought the film had come out and had bombed. That's why she heard nothing from it. So imagine that. Imagine you're filming a movie, a big, big blockbuster film, and you forget about it because it's taken so long for release. Like, that's just mind-boggling, isn't it? Another good movie that you should see too that's also been taken so long to release and was in complete development hell, and it's just come is I just had on tip of my tongue. Oh, the Chaos Theory. Oh, it's something theory. Something theory. I can't remember. But it's got Tom Holland and it's got Daisy Ridley in it. And that movie started shooting, started filming before Daisy Ridley got really big in Star Wars and before Tom Holland got really big in Spider Man. Let that sink in. But yes, apparently she forgot that she filmed those scenes. I'm so glad she did because I'm sure a lot of people probably messaged her and said, "Oh my god, you're in this film," and she's like, "Oh my god, yes." When did it come out? But yeah, when you if you're disconnected from the world that much, then you would see, you wouldn't see much at all. But still with James Cameron. Now for everyone who doesn't know this tale, I know a lot of people do, but I will reiterate. So when the first Avatar was getting cast, there was a lot of big names that were up for the role of Jake Sully. And one of those big names was Matt Damon. Now, this will be something that Matt Damon will always will have to uh, take into his grave. So, not only was he, I'm doing this project, would you like to be part of this role? It would be Jake Sully. He was offered 10% of the gross earnings of Avatar. James Cameron offered that, and Matt Damon said no. Said, nah, don't want to do it, not at all. And look what happened. So someone asked him, saying, James Cameron, would you still like to have Matt Damon? And James Cameron said, yes, I would like to still have Matt Damon in the future sequels of Avatar. However, he ain't getting 10% of shit. So I have feel sorry for that poor man. But then again, Hollywood video games, there's so many stories of that, of a really big name actor has gone, nah, don't want to borrow of it. And then next thing, it's the biggest thing since sliced bread. I'll try to think of one off the top of my head. I know I just said there's so many stories, but there is. I think, well, what kind of a flip was the the first Batman, Jack Nicholson. He took the role, but he also asked for 10% of gross earnings of toys and everything, marketing. Boom, he's still getting royalties from that. Another great one, and probably the best one that just finally came to my head, is Star Wars. So when when George Lucas pitched to do Star Wars, they had no hope in it. They had nothing, no hope it was going to fail. So not only did George Lucas get the rights to Star Wars completely, sequels, prequels, whatever, he also was given all of the gross earnings of all the toys, the marketing, everything produced from it, because they thought it was going to bomb that bad they would be making shit. So that's how George Lucas made a crap all of money, is because he got that. And look how bad the studio. I think it's Fox. I think it was Fox that was like, yeah, you can make it, but we don't want any of your shit. And then that's how they gave up. So probably the biggest thing is always take a chance. Always take a chance on the little guy, because you never know. You never know who or what is going to be big. So at the end of the day, always be nice to everybody. Oh my God, I sound so much like I'm preaching. how to do. But yes, it is correct. You never know who's going to make it big, who's going to be small. So keep that in mind. But moving on, another thing is for the gaming news is for anyone who's currently doing High of Life. So the High of Life is for anyone who doesn't know the name, Rick and Morty game with Morty being a gun. That has apparently been the single biggest third party launch on Xbox Live to date. That is smashing it. Silly me, I totally forgot it was an Xbox exclusive game, and I was looking at the PlayStation Store going, oh yeah, okay, I swear it was out. Google it. Ah, shit. Alrighty. Lucky enough, I do have an Xbox, but I always start on PlayStation first. And before anyone asks, yes, I'm still going through God of War, and I will hopefully in these holidays have the God of War review for you if you are still interested. I understand it's been a while since first come out, and I know you've looked at 1,000 reviews of it, so I'll still bring it out, and I hope you do listen to it and do enjoy it. But yeah, High Life is doing fantastic. I've seen some of the videos for it. It looks fantastic. And the gameplay. So, honestly, if you are a Rick and Morty fan, jump onto this game. You will not be disappointed uh, at all, especially if you also want to watch a movie inside of a game as well. Because you can, don't know why, but hey, it's the crazy thing about people who work with Rick and Morty is you can watch an 80s, I think it's 80s film with Paul Walker in it. You can go in there, sit down some kind of level, and watch the entire thing. Which is the reason why apparently Twitch streamers are having an issue with it because they can't stream it because it's a movie, so it's a copyright thing. But like um, that's such a weird thing to like think about. Like you can't stream it because a movie inside a game inside. So Inception, um, straight into it. So get on the High Life and definitely you enjoy it. You will not be disappointed, especially for any Rick and Morty fans. Moving on. Another thing is sorry, just another thing. So a big thing is coming out next year, which we're all ready for, is The Last of Us HBO Max TV show. That is going to be massive, and it's the first PlayStation game that will get a streaming service TV show. There's a lot of hype around the show. Everything looks fantastic. Everyone's happy with the cast. However, I didn't know this until I saw this. This got me thinking. So we all know who's playing Joel is Pedro Pascal, which no one is disappointed by that because he's doing fantastic from the unbearable weight of massive talent with Nicolas Cage, The Mandalorian. We're not World War One 2. I don't think that's really what he wants to put under his belt. The Game of Thrones. So everyone was happy about that. But however, in an interview, Jason Ackles apparently auditioned for the role, and he apparently pushed really hard to get that role. He really wanted it and pushed hard. And look, I think he would have done a great job. But look at the flip side, he did get The Boys, and that was just fantastic in itself. But yeah, what do you guys think? Like, would you have preferred Pedro Pascal, or would you have wanted Jason Ackles in the leading role? For me, going based on the video games, I think Pedro Pascal has the better build. For Joel, like from the video games, like if you look at it side by side, he is a lot closer in comparison. So yeah, definitely what do you think. Which one would you have preferred? That's keep in mind. But it's interesting. As it's always interesting to know who's going for which role. Like my one, I always find so mesmerizing or so like what could have been different is two actually. One, Clancy Murphy, who you will have known for Peaky Blinders. He also played Scarecrow in the Batman. Went up for the role for Batman, if Batman Begins against Christian Bale. That would have been interesting. If you do go on YouTube, you can see audition footage where he is doing it, it it's hard to look at him. Once you know like Scarecrow, he just nailed it so good. And another big one is Tom Hiddleston. So Tom Hiddleston auditioned for Thor. He went up against Chris Hemsworth. He even bulked up for the role, and you can also go there and see him with abs. So there you go, ladies. But yeah, he auditioned for that, and it's just funny when you didn't get this role, but here's another role, and they smash it out of the park so good. Because you got to remember, Clancy Murphy is the only Batman villain that has reprised the character 3 times in a row in live action. And Tom Hiddleston, I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to say anything about that. I think it all speaks for itself of what he's doing right now, which we did get some images of Loki season 2, which I'm really excited for. Oh, excuse me. Definitely gotta keep that juices going. So the next thing on the really big news is that, as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, is that you, as a consumer, can now sue movie studios for false advertisement through trailers. Now, the reason I made this good, I think this is a fantastic talking point, which I think is it's interesting it's interesting because what does that do for the landscape of movies of trailers? There's a trailer has changed. A trailer is meant to show you a snippet of a movie, get you excited, and allude you on what could be happening. Now, that that has evolved a lot. The good and the bad. The good, Marvel. Marvel nailed their trailers. They have nailed their trailers down to a T. I even looked back the other day and watched the first trailer of Endgame and thinking that trailer showed you shit. That showed you nothing. There was nothing in that. Like, what was going to come back for a 3 hour movie. Even Infinity War showed you just a snippet. But then you get trailers for movies from I feel like Star Wars, or they just show you everything, and you just sit back and go, "Well, I don't need to watch this now because I've seen it." Terminator Salvation, no, not Terminator Salvation, Terminator Genesis. That spoiled a big plot point in the trailer, or a trailer shows too much because the movie studio wants to try and get you really excited for it, and shows you everything. And you're like, well, what was the point of that? And that's what you're really annoying about. So, but the trailers, it's not meant to give you a false advertisement, but it's meant to lure you on what can or can't happen. The reason this sparked was because Anna, I can't remember last name. Anna she appeared in the trailers for Yesterday, leading up to its release. So Yesterday is a movie which I would recommend. It is a good film. Yesterday is a guy who struggling musician, really loves the Beatles, gets hit by a bus, and wakes up in a world where the Beatles never existed, but he knows all their songs. He becomes famous because he writes all his songs. You know exactly how the plot will go. But the interesting thing is that when the movie came out, she's not in it. She was completely cut from the film. She's not in it at all, and all of her fans got really pissed. Um, really got really pissed on why that happened. He was trying to think, why is in the film? The fans got actually complained. Twitter, you know how it would go. Twitter fans are ridiculous. But that's the thing. So is that false advertisement, or is that alluding in the wrong direction? So, but at the same time, if something controversial happened, if something controversial happened with the actor and they got cut, is that false advertisement? Because look at there was a movie with oh, I was trying to remember his name, Kevin Spacey. He was in a movie just recently where the first trailers he was yeah, first trailers I'm pretty sure he was in, and then everything came out with what had been happening, and unfortunately he got cut, he got replaced. He got replaced and he's not in the film. So would you call that false advertisement? And another thing, look at Infinity War. There is a scene in Infinity War where you see all Hulk in Hulk form, all running to a particular scene. That's not in it. That's not in it at all. Is that false advertisement? That's you know, what. Where do you draw the line? So there was also a video game called Alien Colonel Marines that was made by Gearbox. Now they got sued because the first trailer was fantastic. It was looked beautiful. It looked great. You got the game, and it was utter trash. It did not look like it at all. So, and that's and then people are like, "What is this half-baked piece of shit?" People complained on Twitter. People started suing. So the problem that the film's going to have now is they have to be dead certain that when they release a trailer, that everything is going to be in it, or in different scenes. They're going to have to be more conscious. They can't just slap anything together, or they can't show something be cut. Like if it was a Justice League trailer or a DC trailer, and by the time the movie came out, it'd be cut, don't exist. But I think it's a fantastic talking point on what trailers will have to be. It's almost like they need to be mandated now to a degree because you can get sued. So you have to be careful. So that's another thing to be interesting. That's another thing to be interesting. So trailer. So what you were seeing in this episode was I said our trailer is dead, but is the art of a trailer going to become scrutinized? Is it going to be dissected a lot more than what we're used to? Like, could someone sue Marvel because that scene where the characters aren't in there and call it false advertisement because they didn't get what was advertised? So I hope this talking point ponders the question for you. And, if you want to continue the conversation, please hit me up on socials. You know where to find me: Twitter, LinkedIn, yes, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all the fun places. Hive, that's a new one. Hive's a new one. Yes, we're all bees. We all buzz and bee. Hive, yes. Anyway, hit me up if you want to continue the conversation. But I think it's going to be a really good talking point moving forward on what we'll see in movies. So, and not in movies, but what trailers will portray going forward in film. Okay, let's move on to the wrap. So, 2022, we are at the end of 2022. My God, me just saying that, I feel really old. When I feel old, well, I feel old because in a week I'll be 30. Ugh. Anyway, well, as this episode launches, I'll be 30. So we have had a very interesting year in film. As I said, we've had a lot of wins. We've had some surprising wins. Now, one of the major movies that are out right now is Avatar. So I have a listing right here that I will go from 10 to 1. Keep in mind, Avatar's position could change because it's still recording as I'm recording this, and could go up or down. So let's get it down. So number 10, Moon Man, with 460 million worldwide at the box office. I did not see that. I can't even tell you about the poster, but yeah, for everyone Moon Man fans, top 10, it's in. Number 9, Watergate Bridge, 626 million at the box office. I did not get to see that either. There we go. Now we'll finally get to the part where I have seen. So, number 8, Thor: Love and Thunder, 760 million at the worldwide box office, 343 domestically. Doesn't surprise me where Thor is. This wasn't the best Thor, and it is Marvel, so keep that in mind. Number 7, The Batman. So that came in at 770 million with 369 domestically. Now the Batman, for a film that was brand new, yes, it is coming off the money making that is the Batman cash cow. It did fantastic, especially for a 3-hour movie, and it deserves to be up there. The story and the writing, that story and the writing and all that, that goes to Batman over Thor. So I'm completely fine with that, and I think it deserved its place. Number 5, Black Panther. Now, Black Panther is, yes, that is still in the theaters at the moment. They're still making money, but I think it's at the tail end. So Black Panther Wakanda Forever, 801 million worldwide. Now, it did not make as much money as the first one, but that's still a decent amount. And I'm pretty sure that still puts it in its top 10 or the top 15 highest grossing Marvel movies of all time. It's just such a sad, it's such a sad gut wrenching film. Oh, so sad. So sad. Now, number 5, Avatar, with $881 million worldwide. So this is the one I found really interesting. So Black Panther Wakanda Forever, domestically, $427 million. Avatar 2, $279 million. So that's half. So yes, the movie's just coming out, but I don't think it's going to climb and pass Wakanda Forever domestically in the same run. So it's almost like the world was excited for this film, but not domestically, that they weren't too excited for it. So that's interesting. Whether or not it's up to James Cameron being a complete cock, or could be something else entirely. But I think it's very interesting to see how much that domestic drops. Now that is in the top 5 grossing movies of all time, and that movie has the lowest domestic film box office. That is also an interesting takeaway. So number 4, which I can't believe it. I couldn't believe this. When I read this, I was like, "You've got to be shitting me! There's no way." Yep. Coming at number 4, Minions: The Rise of Gru. Worldwide box office 939 million, made more money than Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which I'll take that being a Marvel fanboy because of the kiddos. That is why that is so low. Sorry, so high. But yeah, Minions: The Rise of Gru. Coming in at number 3, we have Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Worldwide box office $955 million, which Doctor Strange was a lot better than Thor: Love and Thunder. A lot better. It's such a good film. I have Thor and Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is the one I've gone back and watched multiple times. Thor, I have not gone on to that. I will go back and watch Thor 3 before I watch Thor 4. But at the same time, Christian Bale is the bad guy, so that's another very tempting. Number 2, the up echelon. So number 2, Jurassic Park Dominion, $1 billion at the box office. And for everyone who's not watching and just listening in, I just did the Dr. Evil thing because I can. But yes, Jurassic Park Dominion. I am not surprised about this because it was a legacy sequel, and it was returning characters from both the new franchises and the old franchises coming together. Is it the best written film of Jurassic World? No, never close. The dinosaurs aren't even an issue. It is the locusts and cloning. Well, cloning still, but locusts are the big bad guy of Jurassic Park Dominion. And a few episodes ago, if you are very interested, I did do a massive discussion on, is it legacy sequels against normal films? Is that a problem? Is that instant money? I have done that in an episode, so please go back and check that out. So number 1, which I don't think anyone listening to, if you got this far in the audio or the video, you will not be surprised by number 1. Number 1, Top Gun Maverick, $1.488 billion at the box office. Domestically, $718 million. That is an utter insane amount, especially for a film that has one previous movie 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Did fantastic. Now, that's another legacy sequel, and that's another thing that I came in and said, well, I think it's because the fact this is a legacy sequel, returning characters, Top Gun's, a lot of people's hearts, the 80s, and, Highway to the Danger Zone. There's multiple different factors into it, but yeah, that is number one. So currently, right now, that is your top 10 winners of the box office for 2022. But tell me, guys, were you expecting that? Are those the numbers that you were money wise? Is that the order you thought you guys were going to be in? So number 11, if you are interested, was Fantastic Beasts with only 405 million. 12 was Sonic 2 with 402 million. Uncharted, 401 million. Black Adam, Elvis, The Bad Guys, Bullet, Lightyear. What? It was the least one. Let's. I'm going to check. So I'm looking for a big film that did utterly poorly. Nothing is really coming with this list that I can go, I know exactly what that is. And as I'm looking currently at my list, there is a whole bunch of movies that I'm like, I have not heard of you. What the hell is that? Like, what in God's name? Even the Avatar 22 re-release made $75 million. God damn. Oh, wow. Actually, here we go. This is a very interesting one. Disney's Strange World only made 62 million. Huh. I wonder what that's very interesting. Which that will become a conversation in a new episode is what is happening to Disney and what is happening to Pixar. Has the Pixar flame died in the ass? That's the next big one. Real quick, Owen, yes, Andy Mess, yes, that was who I was thinking of in the yesterday. That is the character. That is the character who everyone got pissed about. About her not appearing in the film, and yes, also Owen did it happen again. Yes, there was Chaos Theory. Oh, Chaos Walking, Chaos. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I was just sorry to go over it. Yes, it was Chaos Walking. My bad. I was trying to remember which one it was. Chaos Walking is the film with Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley that has development complete hell. So definitely go check that out. But going back to the films that did a big win, how do you guys feel about like that? Is those films that were in the top 10, is that what you expected? Did you see any of them? Which ones did you do? Which ones you didn't? Let me know in the comments and let me know. I can say I at least see I've seen half of them, and basically all of them where they're situated, I'm happy about, except for Avatar and Black Panther. Black Panther should be higher than Avatar, 100%. So let's move on to our review. So the review for this particular episode is Wednesday, the smash hit on Netflix that is based on the Addams Family. Which, even if you haven't seen this show, I'm sure you have seen it on TikTok completely blowing up because the dance. I'm really bad at the dance. I just try to do it. I'm horrible. So glad I recorded this by myself. So Wednesday is based on the Addams Family. It's based on Wednesday Addams. Due to nearly killing an entire boy football team with briars in the pool and one lost testicle. Yes. Going into a new school called Nevermore to fit in with other outcasts. So this is directed by Tim Burton, the Goth King and the Wonderful World of Strange, wonderful stop motion, fantastic films. I really wish he got to make, really wish he got to make Superman. That would have been wild. So as we get to see Wednesday Adams, we see her go through the school, which turns into a murder mystery. So, like, as I was watching this show, so when it dropped, I didn't jump onto it straight away. It was about a week or two later, I jumped onto it, and I was completely hooked from the very start of the guessing game of how this murder mystery is going, and it kept me guessing right up to the end. And for anyone, I highly recommend this show. I was blown away by this, and not only that, the acting is really good, the colors, the world building, some of the beautiful contrast between Wednesday and her best friend Nearly or Enid, because obviously, as you can see from the trailer, she is ecstatic, big colors, perfect antithesis against Wednesday, where they become best friends. And it's beautiful symmetry and some of the best lighting and color. Just that alone is fantastic to watch on how that all comes together. Just just on that aspect. Yes, did I think the school did give me big X-Men and Harry Potter vibes. So if you're an X-Men fan or Harry Potter, you will love this. Just watching it, and just obviously there's a headmaster, there's different cliques, werewolves, vampires, sirens. I'm sure you can put this all together, how this all goes down with the cliques. So as the show progresses, we do get to see Wednesday uh, adjusting to this new place, adjusting to this town. Weird things start to happen. Monsters start to appear. And she dives into her history of the town and the history of herself, which uh, Wednesday, she does a fantastic job. Jenny Ortega, she does a great job as Wednesday Adams, and boom, completely blown away. And here's a fun fact I didn't know until I looked it up. She actually is in the Marvel Universe. She was in Iron Man 3 playing the President's daughter. So, for any Marvel fans, she's made her appearance in Marvel. So, that's a good tick right there. But as she does a fantastic job, and honestly, she really captures the character for Wednesday as much as you can capture that. You know exactly what I mean. And as a result, we get some very colorful characters, some really dark moments. It's not too dark, but is just enough darkness that it's not blood and gore, but just a couple of jump scares. Got me. I was like, shit. But but however, it's really good to watch. Just to keep on guessing who is the killer or the monster right at the end. So I won't spoil that. Usually I do, but I won't spoil this. I'll figure out on the end. But knowing that is that we do get Christine Ricci. She played Wednesday in the 1991 and 1993 Addams Family. She did return at the request of Tim Burton, which was a great nod to the character. She plays a very interesting character that fits her very well, and she does a fantastic job. But both also does Catherine Zeta-Jones, and I do apologize, I forgot his name, who play Gomez and Morticia. Especially, I give props to the actors that played the younger versions of them. That was fantastic. But another big thing that does get to this to make you think of X-Men is that there's a lot of prejudice. Probably more X-Men than Harry Potter. There's a lot of prejudice against being different. You should kill them. They're taking our land. So you do feel that as well, being a different and outcast. They portray that very well. So there's only 9 episodes to the season, so you can smash this out. There is currently season 2 is confirmed, but there is no release date. But Netflix, yeah, they've got another hit on their hands. Not only that, it became the top stream show of Netflix for 2022. And not only that, I think it's the third biggest viewing of a show dropping ever in the history of Netflix. I think, as we all know, I think the big thing is because the dance, the TikTok. Garth is back in, as you have seen. Dance, dance, dance. I will not be making a TikTok of that because I'm horrible at dancing, and that's why I barely dance. Period. But yeah, but what did you guys think of Wednesday? What like did you like it? What did you think of the aesthetics? What did you think of the acting? Are you excited for season two? Do you want to know who's the stalker? Do you want to know who's the love interest? Keeping it very vague for anyone who wants to watch it because I won't spoil the murder mystery. But what do you think of like who? Yeah, who do you think it's going to be? Are you excited for season two? And if you didn't like it, what did you hate? That's always the most curious thing I do hate. So, guys, that is my review for Wednesday. And look, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you've enjoyed all the little tidbits. Hope you've had a wonderful holidays. And look, I really want to say from the bottom of my heart is that for everyone who's come in and listened, watched since the very start of this year and from the very beginning of this podcast, I want to say a big thank you. It means the underworld to me that you've stuck around and you've kept coming back. And that's just how we get to wrap off the year for 2022. I'm excited for 2023. Please join me in the new year. And for everyone, as you know, until next time, happy ranting.